So this is, when are we? We're Friday, the 10th of April. And this is a rolling 3-day average, basically, of new confirmed deaths. As I've said many times, cases is an irrelevant number. You cannot compare cases across countries. You cannot compare deaths to cases and get some kind of death rate. It is ridiculous. And it's ridiculous because the number of cases in each country depends on their testing strategy. And you can see in the United States, for instance, over the last few days, let's just have a look at the worldometers that everybody looks at. You can see they've got 468,000 cases. And that has gone up incredibly over the last couple of weeks because of their testing. Trump got this right, he said in an interview in a press conference a couple of weeks ago. It's because we're doing more testing. Yeah. The UK, that has done almost no testing, or had done almost no testing, is now perhaps doing a couple of thousand a day, has very few cases. I mean, the death rate, you can see this in just the supposed death rate, which is not a death rate at all. You can see that it's over 10% for the UK, whereas in the US, that's 2%. So why would there be a disparity between the two? And the reason is because the testing strategy is different. So going back to this graph, this is definitely, I think, the best graph to look at. It's the daily new confirmed deaths. It's a rolling 3-day average, so it smooths out some of the aberrations, short-term aberrations. And it's a logarithmic scale. What does that mean? Log is basically if something is growing exponentially, i.e. to the power of e, which is about 2 and some 0.1 or something, then it will be represented as a straight line going 45 degrees up. So you can see here, China was above exponential and only became exponential about here. And then very quickly within, well, this is when China was at just over 1 death per day. It took them only until 21st, only 4 weeks to get to the peak. You can see that Spain, Italy, there you go, Italy. You can see that it took Italy from the 23rd to around the 31st. So that's about 4, 5, 6.5 weeks to get over the peak. And you can see United Kingdom is still merrily going up. Yeah, although it does look as though it's starting to peak. So let's see what happens. United States seems to be merrily going up pretty much exponentially. Merrily is not the right word, by the way. Netherlands, their strategy seems to have taken them to the peak. Sweden still going up exponentially, so not sure how their strategy is working. Obviously, South Korea put the lid on it very early, and as did China. So it never got above 100 or so deaths per day. So this is an extremely interesting graph, and you can find it on Our World in Data. It's an interactive graph. You can add the countries that you wish. So that's a little insight into what I've been looking at and the statistics that I think one should be focused on. Obviously, the newspapers are still fixated on cases. As I've said, this is stupid, ignorant, and just obfuscatory, if you want. I mean, just unimaginable how stupid it is. But anyway, that is journalists for you. Even the BBC medical journalist, head of sort of health journalism, editor or whatever his name is, he goes on about cases. It's just mad, absolutely mad. Anyway, I'll leave you with that. Have a good Easter weekend.